Hi guys, welcome to EDDBUD Shoe and Running Gear Reviews. Here is my update on the Yeovil Half Marathon 2019. So as you can see, everybody had a great time yesterday here in Yeovil at the Yeovil Half Marathon 2019. A fantastic event. Lots of people put lots and lots of effort into making sure it was really something to remember. The weather was absolutely perfect yesterday. When I woke up around about 6:30 just to kind of prepare and get ready, make sure I had a good breakfast. A couple hours before the start of the race, which was at 9 a.m. Lots and lots of people were already out. It was so great to get up to the near the start line and see all those runners. There was lots of elite runners there, lots of non-elite runners, people there. So just have a good time. That's what running's all about: having fun, getting out, enjoying yourselves, keeping fit. It's got so many benefits, running. I don't need to go through all those right now. I'll leave that for another video. Weather was a little chilly early on, but this time I managed to get my clothing and my gear right. So often I go out, guys, with wearing too many things, too many layers. I'm starting to get a good appreciation of what I need to wear now for a race, and I got it spot on yesterday. I wore the Yeovil Town Road Runners Club vest. I had my Nike Pro compression shorts on. I used the Stance Tab socks, and as I talked to you before, the Vaporfly Crimson, the 4%. It was fantastic. I couldn't wish for any more. One secret thing I did have, I used my flip belt, kindly donated to me by Charlotte. Within the flip belt, I had a couple of the Morton gels. They came in really handy. I'll talk about those a little bit more in just a second. I would suggest at the start line, it was a little bit hard to make out the PA announcer. There was a bit of confusion at one stage, about 2 or 3 minutes before the race was going to start. The start was almost imminent, which shocked a couple of the runners nearby where I was stationed. I managed to work my way into the pack, so I was somewhere between the 1 hour 30 pacer and the 1 hour 45 pacer. That was part of my plan, really. I wanted to try and finish somewhere between those two paces if I could, and it did work out really well for me. So some really good facilities at the start of the race. There were no problems waiting to use the toilet facilities, lots and lots of cubicles there, so there's no real panic queuing up waiting to use those facilities. There's nothing worse at the start of a race than having to wait, and that kind of anxiety and panic starts to set in. So that simply wasn't there. I felt really, really relaxed. I used one of my Morton gels about 20 minutes before the race to get me ready. So it was kind of already in there in the cauldron, boiling away, ready to be used up at the start of the race. I didn't use the bag check facility at all. I literally went just with what I had. I didn't want to be carrying any extra stuff around, considering the race started so close to where I live, so I didn't want to be carrying around extra stuff. I think that's just me. Some people like like to be able to take some things with them, jumpers, all that kind of stuff. But fortunately, I had my wife coming to meet me at the end of the race. She was bringing a few extra things for me to keep me warm and to keep me hydrated. So moving on to the race, guys. It was a really great race for me. I'm going to kind of break it down into 4 sections really. Of course, with a half marathon, it can be kind of broken down into 4 5K sections. So that's what I'm going to do for you today. I'll post up on the screen some of the splits so you can see how I got on, just for your information really. So, first 5K, the gun went off and I managed to make a really good start. There wasn't any bunching really. I managed to ensure I was close enough to the start that the elite runners really went off, and I was able to kind of get into my stride really well, and felt like I was making good progress right from the start. The first section of the race was very familiar to me. I run that route all the time, so I was very much within my comfort zone there. I didn't really feel at any point, oh hang on, I'm going too fast. When I did actually look down at my watch, I realised I really had my foot down, as it were. I really had the pedal to the metal, and I was going pretty fast, a little slower than my 5K speed. So I did ease back towards the end of the first 5K, so around about 2 miles. I started to pull back just a little bit, but I still ran a pretty fast first 5K of the half marathon. So from around about the 2nd mile, there was a steady climb to about 225 feet. I was averaging about 4 minutes 26 per kilometre at that stage. As we progressed out of the town towards Montacute, I was still feeling really great. I utilised one of the Morton gels at around about 30 minutes, and then again another one about 1 hour. So the second 5K section of the race takes you out of the Nine Springs Country Park, down a road called Lysander Road, and then out towards the airfield, which is the Leonardo organisation's airfield, and then out towards Montacute. I was still feeling really good at this point. The runners had begun to become far more spaced out, and I started trying to pick a few people off there. There were a few runners falling away. I think they'd gone out pretty tough and pretty hard to start with. It's quite a hilly half marathon, this one, so I knew that I had to keep a little in reserve. I was never pushing myself way beyond what I could take. I really did feel like I was sticking to my threshold pace. I did feel in control throughout the half marathon. There weren't any parts where I really felt that I was out of control. My breathing was good, my stomach was good. I think that was down to the Morton gels. They really do seem to work. I didn't have any kind of gastric problems at all. I did notice some other guys and some of the other ladies in the race trying to take on some gels, trying to take on water as well, and struggling a little bit. Those Morton gels, if you can afford them, guys, they are expensive, are absolutely fantastic. I do thoroughly recommend them. There is a company in Wimborne, down in the southwest or south area, who do sell the Morton gels. I'll post up a link to them. They were fantastic. They got them to me like next day delivery. I highly recommend them. X Miles, really do recommend that company, so do check them out. So the third section of the race, the third 5K as it were of the half marathon, sees you approaching Montacute. You go through the Montacute House gardens, or at least part of the gardens. It's an absolutely huge National Trust building. It's a beautiful place. Do go and check it out if you're in that area. So the runners enter through the gardens along some gravel type path. The Vaporflies are okay on that. They're not designed for that kind of surface, but I didn't really feel that they were in any danger, or at least I was in any danger. I wasn't sliding around or anything like that, but it was certainly a little tough. I was glad to get back onto the sort of concrete path and work away out of the main gates of Montacute House, and then onto the section which kind of everybody was dreading of the half marathon, which is a hill called Bulls Hill. As we approach Bulls Hill, there's a bit of a decline. I had my second Morton gel around about that point. I knew that I had a good half an hour of the race left, and I wanted to have some energy in there for that last push towards the end. So I thought probably about the right time to utilise that gel, and it did help me out. It felt like there were about 3 hills, and they all gradually increased in difficulty. When I approached the final hill, it's a stealth hill really. It ascends upwards and then hangs the left and continues going up. I really did see people fall away there. There were some runners that had been around me for a quite considerable time, and they started to fall back. In a weird way, that kind of filled me with confidence. I thought, hang on, I'm feeling really good here. I'm feeling great. I still had a little push in the legs felt good. So I thought, okay, I'm going to open it up as much as I can now, now the hill's out the way. And it was nice to see lots of people en route, just out of the Lufton section, kind of cheering us on. There were some work colleagues there cheering us on, and it really did give me a boost. So I pushed on, and as we started to head back towards the town, after navigating one of the last smaller hills, it was all downhill from there. It was really nice to be heading downhill at that point, down through Preston Grove, and then reapproaching the Quidam shopping centre for the finish line, which was really wonderful. Loads and loads of local people out, lots of Yeovil people out throughout the Quidam shopping centre, supporting and cheering. Felt really great. I gave as much as I possibly could through the last sort of home straight, as it were, and managed to head home at 1 hour, 35 minutes, 48 seconds. Absolutely amazing. I can't believe I managed to achieve that time. When I started running back in May of 2018, I just can't believe I managed to get that time. I've been training really hard. I've tried to dedicate myself as much as I can to that training, and I feel very proud of myself actually that I managed to do that. It just feels great. I still feel on a bit of a high from that event yesterday. Thoroughly enjoyed it, and I've already booked to do the event next year. So, to give you some information about the medal that we all received at the end of the Yeovil Half Marathon 2019, it features a famous local celebrated runner, a chap called Jack. He was called Jack the Treacle Eater. Apparently he was a kind of like a messenger boy who delivered messages to London from the local area, and he trained using only treacle to sustain himself. I'm not sure I'm going to try treacle rather than Morton gels in the future though, guys. How did the gear shape up? Really great. Vaporflies were fantastic. Got no problems with my feet whatsoever today, or my ankles. My upper thighs, I've got to be honest, I'm feeling pretty tight, but I did give everything yesterday in the race. I managed to keep myself hydrated during the race, and after the race I spent quite a lot of time making sure I replaced those calories, drinking lots of water, lots of isotonic drinks, just to bring myself back. And I feel good today. I feel okay. Possibly a short recovery run later on, just a few miles, just bopping along. 3 miles is all I'll do, and feel really great. So overall, the Yeovil Half Marathon for me certainly gets the thumbs up in terms of the organisation and the atmosphere. Atmosphere was fantastic, down to the organisers and all of the supporters, all of those people who were watching on the sidelines. I met lots of great runners out there as well, lots of smiling faces, lots of people really enjoying the challenge, and the course, I have to say, is fantastic. I really enjoyed the course. It had some challenge, it had some hills, it had some nice straights, it had a lot of really lovely countryside and sort of atmosphere to take in. Certainly being a country guy, I really enjoyed the course, and it was so nice to see something happening in Yeovil, very, very positive for the town, and thoroughly recommend the race to you if you're an elite runner, if you're a non-elite runner, if you're a fun runner. I really recommend the Yeovil Half Marathon to you. So please sign up for next year. I hope you've enjoyed the Yeovil Half Marathon 2019 rundown. Please hit the subscribe button and give it the thumbs up if you like the video, and I'll be seeing you.